Okay.
Second flight.
All right, Mike, just look at me, ignore them.
Fair enough.
First question, tell me who you are and what you do here.
I'm Michael Knapp, and this is my rally, LongTail Rally.
You made it, man.
We made it. We're in Vegas. It's all over now, and it's not over. I mean, it's just the beginning of all of this. We've made so many friends along the way, and whenever we first started talking about doing this and talking to the first people that wanted to participate and out on our Instagram and everything, we talk a lot about family. And I think a couple of people kind of rolled their eyes a little bit and said, this is a cheap marketing gimmick or, just buzzword type stuff. But I think if you look around and talk to the people, the relationships that have been made, go beyond just friendship. There are people here that are going to be family for the rest of their life.
And you're not a dude who just said, I want to make a rally because other people make rallies. Give me your rally experience.
We've done a bunch of rallies. We've done some that are really good. We've done some that weren't so good. And I tell you, you spend a lot of money to go to these events, and you always try and make the best of them. But that we've never been on a rally where everybody completely brought it together. And we've done some event type stuff in the past with our day jobs and stuff like that. So we saw the opportunity to kind of take the frustration that we had from some of these other rallies and just try and fix those little errors and pay attention to those little details and come at it from a little bit of a different angle. There's a lot of rallies that are out there that, do the champagne showers and want to do the, 13-hour-a-day drives and stuff like that. And it's all about ego and we're the best at this. And, it's kind of obnoxious. And, you get invariably on those rallies, you find a pocket of people that are like, this isn't who we are. This isn't what we're about. We love cars. We love to drive. We love the idea of this. But, the people that are putting it on just weren't on the same level. They wanted to bring it down a notch. And that's what we did when we created LongTail Rally with the pinch and chill. Is kind of the goofy thing that we came up with to describe it. We want to do the shorter drives. We want to really emphasize the relationships with the people, because you really do create a family from a networking perspective. You have a whole new Rolodex coming out of this thing. Everybody that comes to these events is successful in life, and you don't have to apologize for it. You don't have to be obnoxious about it. Everybody worked hard in some fashion or another to get here, and the type of people that are willing to take these cars that they invest this amount of money in and put 1,700 miles on it in a week and do the stuff that we do, usually turn out to be pretty cool people with a pretty cool story that you want to listen to.
The rally part is hard enough, I imagine, but the chill part is also hard, right?
It can be. These guys, we all like to have fun. So, chill doesn't necessarily mean taking it easy, but it means, enjoying it, to be able to stop and smell the roses. If you look at an Instagram on some of these other rallies that you go on, it looks amazing. It's like, oh, you saw that? And it's like, we saw it for 5 seconds. We didn't stop to enjoy the views. We didn't stop to eat. We didn't stop to do this, that, or anything. It's just, it becomes arduous. And why would you want to pay this amount of money to go out and, you don't really get to bond with the people. You don't get to know them. You don't get to hear their stories. And, I think as you guys saw, by the time we were done with the opening reception before the rally even started, it was very clear that there was real relationships that were coming together. And now that we're on day 7 or day 8 or whatever it is, it's that much more obvious.
Favorite road?
These next couple questions he asked, just answer or repeat the question and answer. So he's like, what was your favorite road? Oh man, my favorite road was.
Sure.
Just a quick reminder. Yep.
Favorite road?
Favorite road? Oh man. The Malibu canyons are amazing. Tuna Canyon, I think, is probably my all-time favorite because it's a one-way road. There's never anybody on it, and you can really kind of test the level of your car and the level of your skill and the level of your bravery with some of the sheer cliffs and everything that you're running up against. So that definitely tests your mettle. I think, they're from a scenic perspective, Big Sur in PCH, running the one up through Northern California is probably one of the most beautiful places on the face of the planet. I don't think there's anywhere you could say that is way better than that. So to be able to take everybody on that, we just got super lucky with the road reopening, a week before the rally started. So to be able to share that with everybody, I have a lot of friends from the East Coast that came out, and if we would have had to skip that, it would have been really disappointing. So to be able to showcase that was pretty cool.
If you could have any car on the rally, what would it be?
If I could have any car on the rally, that's really, really easy. It's the Ford GT. That Ford GT is just unbelievable car. The way it looks, the way it sounds, whenever you put it in track mode. And I think one of the best things of the rally was really getting to see Carl take that car and do what it's built to do with it. So many of those cars, especially that car, end up just sitting in a garage. And to see somebody that was willing to take that car, put 1,700 miles on it in a week, when most of those cars will probably never see 1,700 miles over the entire lifespan, was awesome from his perspective, and for us to get to experience it as well.
Can you explain the route to us a little, man? We started here, we went there. Just give us a little.
Sure. So the route, that was an easy one too. We had a lot of LA-based people, so we started off at the Surf and Sand in Laguna Beach, which is right on the water. It's an absolutely stunning property. So we kicked off from there, we dropped down south, went over Palomar Mountain, which is another one of my favorite roads. So did that, went down into Borrego Springs, where you come around this turn and drop over a hill, and it goes from trees and mountain lush kind of greenery to just, it looks like you're on the surface of Mars, right into the desert, which is pretty cool. So we did a night at Palm Springs. Obviously we did the BMW experience, which seeing everybody's faces light up about that was amazing. I don't think they knew exactly what was in store for them with just how fun they were going to make it. I think that they thought it was going to be a little bit more corporate than it was, but they really let us let it loose, and everybody was smiling from ear to ear. Then we pushed over to Beverly Hills. We did the Beverly Wilshire, the whole big city, fancy schmancy stuff. We stayed at the Beverly Wilshire for a night, and then a lot of the second half was just the natural beauty stuff, up through Malibu, running the coast, cutting in, going over to Yosemite, and the whole auto camp thing, I think, blew people's minds too. It was a bummer that we got held up in traffic a little bit, so we didn't really get to see as much of the park as we wanted to, but that just leaves another thing for us to do on the next one.
Whatever, that second half of that trip after the traffic, that road was amazing.
Yes, yeah. Going up, I don't even know what road it was because we kind of picked it on the fly. One of the guys that was on the rally is actually from that area, and we were just going to run the highway, and he said, no, this is going to add 5 minutes to the trip, and it's going to blow your minds. So it's just kind of another example of, the collective knowledge of everybody and the collective experience of everybody on the rally can kind of come together to, what one person knows can benefit everybody.
I mean, this group really did become a family. How do you think you got the right mix of people here?
I'd love to say it was some sort of brilliant ingenuity, but I promise you it wasn't. We kind of looked at people's Instagrams, and, if you were like holding 3 bottles of champagne, standing on your car with your shirt off, no offense, James, I think there's a couple pictures of you like that, but somehow you made the cut. We kind of, that's not really the vibe that we're going after. So I think that, we have people that bought these cars for the right reasons. They didn't buy them to look cool. They didn't buy them to, flex or whatever. They bought them because they truly enjoy the cars, and to bring people together that, share that passion and find that, they have all these other passions that they have in general. I mean, you look at the Ford GT guys, they were inseparable the whole week. And, you just know that those guys are absolutely going to be friends for life. And being a part of the thing that, brought that together and made that happen, yeah, it feels pretty special.
I mean, it's rare to see one 812.
Yeah.
It's rare to see 3 of them, right?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 812s, and that's another little, I don't want to call it a clique because this was not a cliquey event at all. Everybody talked to everybody, and everybody could tell you everybody's name right now, which is something I've never experienced on another rally, is everybody knowing each other's name, knowing each other's background, knowing each other's story. I mean, people were busting balls within 3 hours of the whole thing getting started. which is awesome to see. You know it's going to be a great event when people are already starting to joke around that quick. But yeah, we had 2 guys with the A12s that live a couple blocks from each other and had no idea each other existed, and they were also pretty much inseparable for the whole first half of the rally. So it was really cool to see.
Any teasers for LongTail 2?
Well, give me a second to let the dust settle on this one. This was our first one. It took us 6 months of heavy resources to plan this and try and think of every little thing that you need to get right. Because that really is what makes a good experience versus a bad experience. It's not that hard to call up a hotel and book some rooms. It's not that hard to book a restaurant, unless it's COVID. Then that didn't make anything easier, and we hope that the next ones will be a little easier without that whole hurdle to have to jump over. But we know a couple of other roads. We know a couple other places that some people might want to see. So we'll see what we can get together.
People watching this that want to get involved, want to be on the second one, what's the best way to do it to make sure they get on it?
Best way to make sure you get on it is just be real. Be a good person. Be somebody that puts others in front of themselves. I can tell you that every single person that's on this rally would take the shirt off their back for any of the other people on the rally. So that's what we're looking for. People that want to network, want to socialize, want to have fun. Don't necessarily want to stay out until 4 o'clock in the morning partying and then try and drive the next morning, hungover. And we've set our event up so that you don't have to be that. We're kind of the, have 3 or 4 glasses of wine and a good dinner kind of rally. And people have really reacted to that in a positive way. And I know there's more of you out there, so if you want to come and get involved with us, just look us up on Instagram at LongTail Rally or on our website, longtailrally.com.
Talk about your crew a little bit, man. The crew made sure everyone was dialed the whole time, and I think your crew, you and Jules, but as well as your crew, make sure everyone's good the whole time, and that really brought us together too.
Yeah, that was another interesting experience. We kind of didn't think about that. I don't want to say until the last minute, but we wanted a couple of extra hands on deck of who we could really rely on to be there when we needed them. And we just kind of looked at our circle of friends, and there was a couple that we know are into this car stuff that don't normally get to do this kind of thing. And so we kind of figured that we could kill 2 birds with 1 stone by having them come on and do a little bit of light lifting to help facilitate everything, but also provide them an experience, getting to see their faces light up whenever we pulled in auto camp and you see these amazing Airstream trailers. Who does that? Who knows? Who's ever seen that before? So it was cool. It was really fun to see their faces light up and to do that for a friend. We helped them, they helped us. So it was a really mutually beneficial thing.
I know we went over this a little bit, but ultimately what separates LongTail Rally from other rallies?
What separates us from other rallies? We do shorter drives. We're aiming to do 4 to 6 hours at a maximum. A lot of other rallies, their shortest days are 8 hours. That's for some of the more hardcore guys. That's perfectly fine. But if you want to bring your wife or your girlfriend along, you wouldn't want to be a passenger for that long in your car either. So, we're doing these shorter drives. We're really trying to craft an experience with the resorts that we go to, with the dinners that we go to just make it kind of a traveling networking event. A part party, part social event, part networking event. So with cars, amazing cars, and some amazing drives being all in the middle of it.
Awesome. You're good. Mike, thank you so much.
Thanks.